I want you to take a moment and really listen, because what I'm about to share isn't just words. It's a lifeline, a spark, a truth that can change the trajectory of your life if you allow it. Life, as you know, is never linear. There are moments of joy, seasons of peace, times when everything seems to align perfectly. And then there are the storms. And oh, the storms, they come without invitation. They shake you, rattle you, sometimes make you question everything you believe. But I am here to remind you that even in those storms, there is a hand guiding you, a power greater than any circumstance, a love that never fails. And that power, that hand, belongs to God. You see, trusting God is not a passive act. It is not something you do when life is easy, when everything is falling into place. Trusting God is a decision you make when your heart is heavy, when the path ahead is unclear, when every door seems closed and every hope seems distant. It is a declaration that no matter what you see, no matter what you feel, no matter what the world tells you, you believe that God is at work on your behalf. And let me tell you something. When you make that choice, when you decide to trust God with every part of your life, you unleash a power that the universe cannot resist. Now, I know that right now, some of you are sitting there weary. You've tried and failed. You've prayed and waited. You've given your best, and yet, somehow, it hasn't been enough. The bills are piling up. The relationships are strained. The dream seems so far away, and the future looks uncertain. I know how heavy that feels. But here's the truth. The fact that you are still breathing, still fighting, still hoping, is proof that God has not given up on you. He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail, arranging every step, even when you cannot see it. Faith is not about seeing the entire staircase. Faith is about taking the next step, even when the next step is obscured by darkness. Abraham didn't see the promised land. He trusted God and obeyed, and God led him every step of the way. Joseph didn't understand why he was sold into slavery, why he was thrown into prison, why life seemed to betray him at every turn, but he trusted God, and eventually that trust elevated him to a position of unimaginable influence, where he saved nations. You might not understand the delay. You might not understand the pain, but God understands every detail, every tear, every silent prayer. And here is the most important thing. He is not passive. He is moving. I want you to imagine your life as a puzzle. Every piece matters. Every trial, every setback, every heartbreak is a piece that is necessary for the bigger picture. You might be holding a piece in your hand and think it doesn't fit anywhere, but God knows exactly where it belongs. He is arranging it perfectly. And while you are tempted to force pieces where they don't belong, to get frustrated and walk away, He is saying, trust me, wait on me, I will make a way. There is power in patience. There is power in surrender. There is power in allowing God to work when you feel powerless. And here's the urgency I need you to hear. Time is moving, life is happening, and God's plan is active. You cannot afford to delay trust. You cannot afford to wait until your circumstances are perfect, until your heart is less wounded, until your fears are gone. Trust is required now. Trust is the vehicle through which God moves mountains, opens doors, and fulfills destinies. You may not see it today, you may not see it tomorrow, but the moment you align your faith with God's will, the moment you surrender fully to Him, miracles begin to unfold. Think about Moses. He was called to lead a nation out of slavery, but he felt inadequate, unprepared, and afraid. God didn't wait for Moses to feel ready. He empowered him, equipped him, and called him into action. And when Moses obeyed, the Red Sea parted. The impossible became possible. And that, my friends, is the principle I want you to take to heart today. God specializes in the impossible. He specializes in turning the unthinkable into reality. But it requires your trust. It requires your obedience. It requires your faith, unwavering and bold. You might ask, how do I keep trusting when I feel like giving up? How do I hold on when it seems like God is silent? The answer is simple. Remember who God is. Remember what He has promised. And remember what He has already done in your life. Look back. Reflect on the moments when doors opened that you didn't even knock on. Remember the prayers that were answered just in the nick of time. Remember the provision that came when you had nothing left. Those are reminders, markers of God's faithfulness. And if He has done it before, He will do it again. His ways are higher, His timing perfect, and His love unshakable. And here's a truth that will change everything for you. God is not limited by your situation. He is not confined by your circumstances. He is not bound by your mistakes or your shortcomings. He is limitless. And when you place your life, your future, your heart, and your dreams into His hands, you step into a realm of limitless possibilities. You step into a story that is bigger than you, bigger than your doubts, bigger than your fears. You step into a story that God has been writing since the foundation of the world, a story in which you are the hero. And victory is not just possible, it is inevitable. But here is the call to action. You must keep trusting. You must keep praying. You must keep believing. You must keep moving, even when it seems like the ground beneath you is unstable. You must walk by faith, not by sight. You must refuse to be discouraged by delays, by setbacks, by the opinions of others, by the storms that rage around you. You must anchor your soul in the truth that God is good, God is faithful, and God is working all things together for your good. I know it's not easy. I know that fear, doubt, and anxiety try to creep in. But here is the secret. Every time you choose faith over fear, every time you choose trust over doubt, every time you choose obedience over comfort, you grow stronger. You align yourself with the divine, and your capacity to receive God's blessings increases. Every trial you endure, every moment you remain steadfast, every prayer you continue to lift up is building a momentum that will catapult you into your destiny. Let me speak to those who are in the wilderness right now. I see you. I know you feel lost, abandoned, or forgotten. But the wilderness is not a place of punishment. It is a place of preparation. It is where God molds you, strengthens you, teaches you patience, and builds character. It is where your faith is refined, like gold in the fire. The wilderness is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your transformation. And when you come out on the other side, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more equipped to fulfill your purpose than you ever imagined. Do not underestimate the power of God's timing. He is never early. He is never late. He is always right on time. What seems like a delay is often a divine alignment. What seems like a closed door is often protection. What seems like a setback is often a setup for a greater victory. Trust Him, even when you do not understand. Trust Him, even when your heart is heavy. Trust Him, even when the world says it is impossible. And here is where urgency meets opportunity. Life is short, time is fleeting, and your purpose cannot wait. Every day you delay trust. Every moment you hesitate to believe. Every prayer you hold back is a moment where God's power could be working through you but is stalled by your doubt. The moment you fully surrender, the moment you fully trust, is the moment God begins to work miracles. He will make a way where there seems to be no way. He will open doors that no man can shut. He will bring people, opportunities, and blessings into your life that are beyond your imagination. I want you to hear this as if God Himself is speaking to you today. Do not fear. Do not doubt. Do not give up. I am with you. I have not forgotten you. I am making a way, even when the way seems impossible. I am working all things together for your good. Trust me. Walk with me. Follow me. And I will empower you to accomplish everything I have called you to do. And so, my friend, I challenge you to stand today, to rise above fear and doubt, to put your hand in God's hand, and to trust Him with everything. Trust Him with your dreams, your future, your finances, your relationships, your health, and your heart. Trust Him with the pieces of your life that seem broken, scattered, or lost. Trust Him when you cannot see the whole picture. Trust Him when your faith feels small, because small, faith in a big God is still enough. God's timing is perfect. His power is unmatched. His love is unshakable, and His plans for you are greater than you can imagine. The road may be long, the night may be dark, and the challenges may be many. But remember this, You serve a God who makes a way where there is no way. You serve a God who turns trials into triumphs, deserts into gardens, and setbacks into setups for glory. You serve a God who can do immeasurably more than you could ever ask or imagine. So do not give up. Do not lose hope. Do not allow fear, doubt, or despair to steal the promises that God has for you. Keep trusting, keep praying, keep believing, and keep moving forward with urgency and faith. Let your life be a testimony of God's goodness, a living proof that He is faithful, a demonstration that when you trust Him, He never fails. And one day, you will look back on this season, the trials, the tears, the waiting, and you will see God's hand at work in ways you never imagined. You will see how He made a way when there was no way. You will see how He empowered you, lifted you, and brought you into the fullness of His purpose. And in that moment, you will know without a doubt that trusting God was not just the right choice. It was the only choice that could lead you to the victory, peace, and joy He promised. So stand strong. Keep the faith. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Keep moving forward with urgency, because God is working, God is faithful, and God will make a way. And when He does, it will be more glorious, more powerful, and more miraculous than you ever imagined. Your breakthrough is coming. Your miracle is on the way. Your destiny is unfolding. Keep trusting God, because He will never fail you. He will never abandon you. And He will always make a way. True faith is not measured by convenience, comfort, or the smoothness of life. True faith is forged in fire, in the storm, in the moments when the winds howl, the waves crash, and the ground beneath you seems to disappear. Trusting God during trials is more than a spiritual concept. It is a lifestyle, a declaration, a daily choice. When life becomes overwhelming, when problems seem insurmountable, and when you feel alone, it is precisely in those moments that trusting God becomes vital. You see, life will never be free from challenges. Every person, regardless of status, education, or background, faces difficulties. What separates the victorious from the defeated is not the absence of trials, but the ability to trust God through them. It is easy to trust God when everything is going right, when your health is strong, your finances are stable, and your relationships are thriving. The real test comes when everything is falling apart, when the walls seem to close in, and despair is whispering that all hope is lost. It is in those moments that faith must become louder than fear, that belief must rise above circumstance, that trust must override doubt. Trusting God is acknowledging that your understanding is limited, that your knowledge is incomplete, and that only His wisdom can see the full picture. It is surrendering your plans, your timelines, and your desires into His hands and saying, Lord, I do not understand, but I believe you are working for my good. The power of this trust is immeasurable. When you trust God, your heart finds peace amidst chaos. You begin to notice His hand guiding you, opening doors, and providing clarity in ways you never imagined. Trust allows you to persevere, to stand firm, and to keep moving forward, even when everything around you seems uncertain. It is this unwavering trust that creates a pathway for God's miracles to manifest in your life. Remember, your trials are not the end of your story, they are the beginning of your testimony. Your faith in God during hard times is the seed from which your victory will grow. Belief in God's power requires more than intellectual assent. It requires action. Faith over fear is about making bold steps even when the path is unclear, even when the outcome seems uncertain. Fear will try to paralyze you, whispering that failure is inevitable, that disappointment is waiting, that the risk is too great. But faith calls you to rise above that fear, to act despite it, and to trust in God's promises. Every step you take in faith, no matter how small, is a declaration that God's power is greater than any challenge you face. Faith is not passive. It is active. It is movement. It is obedience. The moment you let fear dictate your actions, you limit the flow of God's power in your life. Fear focuses on problems, while faith focuses on the solution. Fear magnifies obstacles, while faith magnifies God. Fear is concerned with what could go wrong, while faith is anchored in the certainty of God's goodness and his ability to make a way. Faith over fear means choosing to move forward even when you do not have all the answers. It means taking that first step, sending that message, making that call, pursuing that dream, or embracing that opportunity, all while trusting God to provide the outcome. The Scripture teaches that faith, the size of a mustard seed, can move mountains. Even a small act of trust can create tremendous change. Every time you act in faith, you are cooperating with God's power and aligning yourself with his plans. Your courage grows, your confidence strengthens, and your capacity to handle challenges expands. Fear will always try to hold you back, but faith will always propel you forward. The question is not whether challenges exist, they always will. The question is, will you let fear control your actions? Or will you let faith guide your steps, knowing that God is greater than anything you face? God's timing is perfect, though it often feels slow to our human eyes. Delays, closed doors, and setbacks are not mistakes. They are part of a divine orchestration that aligns your life with God's perfect plan. Human beings often desire instant results, immediate gratification, and quick fixes. But God works on a timeline that ensures the best possible outcome. What seems like a delay is frequently preparation for a breakthrough, a building of strength, or a protection from circumstances that could harm you. Closed doors are often redirections, steering you toward a path that will bring greater blessings. Setbacks, disappointments, and failures are often setups for exponential growth, wisdom, and favor. Understanding and embracing God's timing requires patience, humility, and trust. It requires surrendering your agenda and recognizing that God sees the end from the beginning. When Joseph was betrayed, sold into slavery, and imprisoned, it seemed like life had abandoned him. Yet, God's timing was unfolding perfectly, and eventually, Joseph rose to a position where he saved nations. Waiting on God is not wasted time, it is an investment in divine alignment. Each moment of waiting shapes your character, refines your spirit, and prepares you for the responsibilities that lie ahead. Impatience often leads to poor decisions, fear-based actions, and missed opportunities. Patience, on the other hand, cultivates wisdom, clarity, and readiness to embrace God's blessings fully. Trusting in God's timing allows you to live in peace amidst uncertainty. It frees you from frustration, anxiety, and despair, because you know that everything is working according to a perfect plan. Remember that God's schedule is never late, his actions are never random, and his promises are never broken. To trust his timing is to trust his wisdom, his love, and his power. Your breakthrough is already on its way. You are simply in the season of preparation, and God's perfect timing will reveal the fullness of his plan in your life. The wilderness seasons of life are not punishments, they are divine classrooms. When you find yourself in moments of hardship, loneliness, or waiting, it is often God shaping you, teaching you, and preparing you for the destiny he has designed. The wilderness is where faith is tested, character is refined, and endurance is built. It is where you learn to rely fully on God and recognize that he alone is your source of strength. Many of the greatest stories in Scripture took place in the wilderness. Moses wandered, David fled, Elijah hid, and Jesus himself spent 40 days fasting and praying in solitude. These were not idle moments, they were seasons of preparation. The wilderness challenges you to let go of self-reliance, to abandon fear, and to embrace dependence on God. It is a place where your identity is clarified, your purpose is strengthened, and your calling is honed. Every hardship, every struggle, every period of waiting in the wilderness is an opportunity for growth. When you embrace these moments with faith, you emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The wilderness teaches patience, perseverance, and trust in God's plan. It reminds you that you are not alone, that God is always with you, and that your current struggle is shaping a greater victory. Do not despise the wilderness. Do not give up during the waiting season. Instead, see it as a necessary stage in your spiritual and personal development. The wilderness is temporary, but the strength, wisdom, and faith you gain there will last a lifetime. When you come out of this season, you will be ready to fulfill your purpose with power, confidence, and divine favor. Trust and obedience must be exercised with urgency, because opportunities, blessings, and divine interventions are often time-sensitive. Waiting for circumstances to improve, for fear to dissipate, or for confidence to fully materialize can cause you to miss the very moment God is moving on your behalf. Trust and action cannot be postponed. God's plans unfold through your willingness to step forward, take risks, and move with faith in real time. Urgency does not mean recklessness. It means recognizing that your obedience activates God's power. Every hesitation slows the manifestation of blessings. Every delay gives fear, doubt, and distraction the opportunity to interfere. When you act promptly in faith, doors open, resources appear, and solutions manifest. The Bible is full of examples where immediate obedience led to miraculous results. Noah acted immediately on God's instructions to build the ark, and the flood came exactly as God had said. Abraham obeyed God's call to leave his familiar land, and he became the father of nations. Immediate trust and action amplify the flow of God's power. The moment you surrender fully, step forward boldly, and act with urgency, God moves in. Ways that exceed imagination. Your life begins to align with His purposes, and miracles become inevitable. Waiting for the perfect moment is often the enemy's trick to keep you stagnant. Trusting and acting with urgency positions you to receive God's blessings and fulfill your destiny without unnecessary delay. Every moment counts, and every action fueled by faith has the potential to release divine favor, open new doors, and create opportunities that change your life forever. Surrendering fully to God allows His limitless power to operate through your life. Human understanding, resources, and abilities are limited, but God's capacity is infinite. When you place your heart, mind, and life completely in His hands, you release the potential for miracles, breakthroughs, and divine interventions that exceed human comprehension. Surrender is not passive. It is an active partnership with God. It requires humility, trust, and obedience. Surrender allows God to orchestrate events, connect you with the right people, and bring solutions that no human could engineer. The moment you let go of control and trust God fully, His power becomes evident in ways that defy logic. He opens doors that no one can shut, provides resources when none exist, and guides your steps with precision. Surrendering does not mean abandoning effort. It means aligning your effort with God's will and letting His power amplify your actions. Every breakthrough, every miracle, every moment of. Divine favor is unlocked through surrender. God specializes in turning the impossible into reality. He specializes in transforming hopeless situations into testimonies. When you surrender fully, your limitations are removed, and your life becomes a canvas for God's glory. Trusting God, obeying His call, and surrendering to His plan allows you to experience the fullness of His promises, live in supernatural provision, and walk in the victory that He has ordained for you. The possibilities are limitless when your life is in His hands, and every step you take in faith amplifies His power in your journey. Your life is a living testimony of God's faithfulness, and the moment for action is now. Do not wait for perfect conditions or complete understanding. Step forward in faith today. Pray with urgency, act with boldness, and trust without hesitation. Surrender your fears, doubts, and limitations. Choose to walk in obedience, even when the path is unclear. Make your faith visible through action. Align your heart, mind, and decisions with God's will. Let go of past failures and disappointments. Step boldly into the future God has prepared for you. Speak life over your dreams and declare God's promises over your circumstances. Build momentum in faith, knowing that every step you take in trust releases God's power in your life. Surround yourself with reminders of His goodness. Reflect on past victories and let them fuel your confidence. Commit to consistency in prayer, obedience, and service. Do not allow fear, distraction, or delay to hinder the manifestation of your destiny. Activate your faith daily. Encourage others, give generously, and act courageously. Position yourself where God can work through you. Begin today, without hesitation, trusting God with everything. The breakthrough, the miracle, and the destiny He has promised are closer than you think. Act now, move forward, and let your life become a testament to the limitless power and faithfulness of God. As we come to the close of this message, I want you to hold tightly to this truth. God is faithful, God is powerful, and God is actively working on your behalf even when you cannot see it. Your journey, with all its trials, delays, and uncertainties, is not random. It is divinely orchestrated. Every hardship, every moment of waiting, every disappointment is a part of the process. God is using to shape you, prepare you, and position you for His ultimate purpose in your life. Your story is not defined by what happens to you, it is defined by how you respond. And the response God calls you to is unwavering trust, persistent faith, and courageous obedience. Do not let your circumstances dictate your hope. Do not let fear, doubt, or frustration rob you of the promises God has placed before you. You have within you the power to rise above every obstacle, not by your own strength, but by the power of the one who made the heavens and the earth. When you choose to trust Him fully, when you surrender your plans and step forward in faith, you align yourself with His divine plan. And alignment with God's will is the key to unlocking miracles, breakthroughs, and victories that surpass your imagination. Remember, God makes a way where there seems to be no way. He opens doors no one can close. He provides when there seems to be nothing left, and He fulfills promises that were thought to be impossible. Every delay, every closed door, every trial is an opportunity for God to demonstrate His power, and every moment of trust you exercise positions you to receive His blessing. The wilderness is not a place of defeat, it is a place of preparation. Every challenge you endure strengthens your character, sharpens your faith, and builds resilience for the season of triumph that is coming. You are being molded for something greater than you can see. And God's timing, though sometimes difficult to wait for, is always perfect. The patience you exercise now will reward you with abundance, joy, and fulfillment beyond your imagination. So, stand firm. Keep your eyes fixed on God. Keep trusting Him even when the night is long, even when the path is unclear, even when your heart feels weary. Keep praying, keep believing, and keep moving forward. Let your faith be louder than your fear, your hope stronger than your doubt, and your trust unshakable, knowing that God is at work on your behalf. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. Your breakthrough is coming. Your miracle is on the way. And your destiny, crafted by the hand of God Himself, is unfolding exactly as it should. Let this truth resonate in your soul. God is with you. He is for you, and He will never abandon you. Your obedience, your faith, and your trust are the present. Keys that unlock the miraculous. The moment to act is now. Do not delay. Do not hesitate. Keep trusting God. Keep believing in His promises. And keep moving forward with urgency, courage, and confidence. Your life is a testimony waiting to be written, a story of triumph that will inspire generations. Trust Him fully, surrender completely, walk boldly, and watch as God makes a way, provides abundantly, and leads you into the victory that has always been yours.